Announcement today, scientists say they are stunned by evidence from a secret military project called Inside the Greenland Ice Sheet, evidence that was kept forgotten and also in a freezer for 50 years.
They say it implies the potential for drastic melting. Science and nature specialist John Hollenhorst spoke with one of the scientists and reports from Utah State University.
The Greenland ice sheet is an astonishing natural phenomenon, a gigantic slab of ice up to a mile deep, more than 4 times the size of California. A perfect place, the Pentagon figured in the 1960s, to burrow inside and create a military base.
It's a cool story in a cold place.
Geologist Tammy Rittenauer says the base itself was not a secret, but its true purpose was top secret. Project Iceworm, 600 mobile nuclear missiles ready to launch at the Soviet Union.
Because you can dig out a huge bunker underneath the ice sheet and no one would know. It would be invisible from above.
That project was later abandoned, but it left behind a unique piece of evidence for future scientists. In the 1960s, a huge drill rig at the base cored all the way through the ice sheet, straight down nearly a mile, and even a few feet deeper into sediments below.
Collected that, looked at it, and put it in a freezer and forgot about it.
In 2017, scientists found the forgotten sediments in a freezer. They were astounded to find fossilized plants at the bottom of the ice core. It meant the ice sheet must have melted away completely 2 different times. Rittenauer is part of a worldwide team that for the last 4 years has been quietly studying what she calls a treasure trove of evidence. In her dark lab, she uses luminescence technology to determine how long the sand was buried under the ice.
And that tells us how old it is, when it was last exposed to light.
Scientists had thought the ice sheet had been stable for perhaps 2.5 million years. Rittenauer says she was shocked to discover it had a total meltdown less than 1 million years ago, possibly much less.
Maybe only 500,000 or several 100,000 years ago that the ice sheet melted away.
If you're the kind of person who thinks, well, it's just science, who cares? Stop and think about it. These findings have implications for the human race that could be catastrophic.
Over the last 1 million years, the ice sheet grew and shrank as CO2 levels went down and up. But in the last several decades, the greenhouse gas has gone up almost literally off the charts.
And today, well outside of the natural range of CO2.
The ice sheet is now melting at an accelerating pace. If a total meltdown happens again, oceans will rise 25 feet, a lot more if Antarctica melts along with it, threatening hundreds of millions of people.
If the Greenland ice sheet melted, all of those coastal areas would be inundated, whole countries would be underwater, and most of the world's population would be disturbed.
So, a secret from the past, once buried under ice, could tell us a lot about humanity's future. John Hollenhorst, KSL 5 News, Utah State University.
John, thank you. The military project under the ice was eventually abandoned because the walls and the ceilings kept changing shape and collapsing. Ice, after all, behaves like a plastic over long spans of time.